Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in today. Today we are going to be discussing traffic court and how to address it and how to be prepared to fight a ticket that you received. Alright, so first we're going to discuss you got a ticket in the mail, or you got a ticket from driving, excuse me. So you got a ticket, and you're not having a good day, you got a ticket. Mine, I got a ticket for failure to yield an emergency vehicle. Now, I don't believe it was my fault. I moved over a lane, and there were pedestrians in the other lane, causing me to move back. So, anyway, let's not get into my case here. But on your ticket here, you will get a ticket number at the top. Now, if you decide to pay the ticket, you can pay the ticket, get the points, whatever. You're done. But most people decide they want to go ahead and fight the ticket. So when you fight the ticket, you go into a whole different, case. You don't have to pay the fine within the 14 days as required. You will get you will call your court on the ticket. On the ticket there will be district court where you got the ticket, and it will give you a number. You want to call them and ask for an informal hearing. Now, when you go with an informal hearing, you will be in front of the judge and the officer who gave you the ticket. Alright, so let's pursue talking about this. You called the court, and you scheduled the informal hearing. So you got that informal hearing in the mail. It will give you a court address on where to go for the hearing, and what time to be there. Be there approximately 30 minutes early, just to give you, time to prepare and know where you're going in the courtroom. So, you're there at the courthouse, you're ready. People say, talk to the cop before. See if he can adjust the ticket in any way. Maybe there's traffic schooling you can do to adjust your ticket. He has the ability to drop the ticket even, if able to. If he can. He can drop the ticket. He could drop the charges, and that's the end of that. So discuss with him, ask him if there's any other way of, to maybe get the points removed off your ticket. The worst he can do is say no. So, you got the ticket, as I showed you before. On the ticket, there's going to be an authorization pending number and the type of ticket you got, like a civil infraction or misdemeanor. I don't know if my camera will show it here, but there's the number right there. It says 2610, and that's the number you can Google online, and it will show you what that ticket or what that number is, and that's what you're getting charged with. Like 2610 is failed to yield emergency vehicle, and you can go online to several different websites and find out how much that fine is and how many points it will cost you. Now, at the end of this video, I will be showing a tutorial on me going to different websites and showing that, so stick around for that. So, you decide to go ahead and fight the ticket. As I said, you got this in the mail. Some people like to try to put off the ticket, like they call the court and say, oh, this date don't work for me, let's reschedule it, and hoping the officer will forget and not show up for this ticket, because usually officers schedule their hearings 2 to 3 times a month for several weeks worth of work, so they are always at each meeting. It's like 80%, 90% chance they will be there. So a lot of people like to think, hey, if I keep rescheduling it, maybe it will just be me and him and he won't even bother to show up. So they like to schedule their meetings on twice to 3 times a month on tickets they've written up for several weeks. So they don't want to lose out on work, so they'll usually show up. But if they don't show up, you're able to possibly get the ticket totally dismissed, or unfortunately the judge can also reschedule it to give the officer another chance to show up, which kind of sucks because you're thinking, hey, he didn't show up, I'm going to get out of it. And then the judge totally blindsides you and says, hey, we're just going to reschedule it. So that sucks, but it depends how the judge is feeling that day and what kind of ticket you got. Because if it's a severe ticket, like a misdemeanor or like a DUI, and for some reason the cop doesn't show up for a DUI, that'd be weird. But yeah, he's going to reschedule it just because it's a bigger ticket. So you're in the courtroom. It's a legit courtroom somewhere in the courthouse. You're gonna be in a courtroom. It's not some O.J. Simpson type shit. It's pretty calm compared to that. You're gonna be in front of the magistrate or judge, and you're gonna have to persuade to the judge why the officer's story is wrong, and the officer's gonna have time to speak first about what happened on the case. Now, the officer will speak. You do not interrupt him. dress appropriate for this occasion and come well prepared. Do not have food or drink in the courtroom. Now, the officer will give a story, and you will be listening, and respectfully do not interrupt his story, even though if you believe it is not true. Then you will get a chance to cross-examine the officer himself. This is not a time to argue and state facts. This is a time to ask questions to the officer about his story. Now, you can ask him anything about that night. Was it raining that night? Maybe it was harder for you to see something. So on and so forth. So you really use that time to ask questions. Do not ask. The judges don't like when you use that time to state facts. That is not your time to speak facts. That's your time to ask questions and get, questions across. So then, then the police officer will rest his case. That means he will no longer speak about the facts of what happened that night. Then the judge will point to you and tell you to speak your story on the side of your story. And then you will then state the facts of what happened that night and what was happening. And this will be, your facts and your case, and explain to them why you're not guilty and how you want to get out of this ticket and what you want from this ticket. All right, and you're explaining, and then he will say, "Do you have anything in closing?" Make sure you bring a closing with you, because this is really professional if you have it written out, and state again why you don't believe you deserve this ticket, why you think this ticket does not portray you, and maybe state a little bit about yourself. If you have a perfect driving record, make sure he knows that. You don't want to be known as a bad driver. And I forgot to mention, when you're in the courtroom, there's going to be several different people probably with this, waiting to go to trial with the same officer, and it will be in alphabetical order. So if your name's Z, you're going to be the last person, sadly. So it goes in alphabetical order. Be prepared when they call your name. And when they call your name, rise, go up there, and then the judge is going to ask you, are you pleading guilty, not guilty, or guilty with explanation today? Now, you almost always want to say not guilty. Just because if you say guilty, you're guilty no matter what, they're going to sentence you to something. Not guilty, you have a chance of fighting. You state the facts. If you go guilty, you don't have a chance of fighting against facts. You can do guilty with explanation on why you were speeding or such and such on different occasions, but it all depends on your case itself. So hopefully this gave you a rough idea on how court cases will work on you and how this will work in your state. Now this was for Michigan. I won my case actually. The officer did not show up, so the officer kindly dismissed the case. So, and which was awesome. I was more than happy. And he gave me this. He gives you this paper. It's what they'll write up there, and it will have your cost fines on there. Or if it was dismissed, it will be dismissed, and the judge will sign it off. You will have no points on your record. So I was happy for that. But make sure you come well prepared. Be well dressed. Don't bring a cat. No food or drink in the courtroom. Address the judge as Your Honor. Yes, sir. And bring any evidence you can, dash cam, witnesses, anything to help you with your case when you're fighting it, because you're going to need it. I had a diagram ready to fight this case fully, but I was just lucky I didn't even have to fight it just because the officer didn't show up and they decided to dismiss it rather than reschedule it. So, alright, let's go online here, and I'll show you a little bit on how to look online for your ticket and how much the fines roughly cost.
Okay, so as you can see, I am recording my screen on my phone here. By the way, this app is available, and how to get this app on an iOS Apple device, the video on how to get it will be in the description below. That is my cat, Tinsel the Christmas Cat. Follow him on Instagram if you like. His name will be in the description below. Give him a follow on Instagram. He's a nice cat. Cute cat, by the way. Very adorable cat. But all the websites we will be visiting will be in the description below as well. And they will vary from state to state and from court. So all the prices I'm about to list will be different, but it will give you a general idea. So you're going to go ahead, open up this this one I went on just to get a different idea on how much court cost. So 36thdistrictcourt.org is a website I went to just to get a rough idea on how much a ticket will cost. So once again, it will vary from state to state and from district, but this will give you a general idea on how much it will cost. So if you look at like drove with one arm, $105 fine to $145 fine. So all this, make sure you read your ticket and find out what you're being charged for before going on this website. And then you should be able to look up the fine cost on how much it should cost. It's really not that difficult. Like mine was failed to yield emergency vehicle. That's $150 to $190. You know, this will just give you a rough idea on how much you'll have to pay that court date. Because you'll have to pay on that court date if you're found guilty, even though you're pleaded not guilty. So if you get found guilty, you'll have to pay this money, and you might have to pay a little bit extra for court cost. But anyway, you can find all this on this website. It will be in the description below, but it will vary from state to state. Now go to michigan.gov. This will be a general idea for every state too. The point system is pretty much the same in every state, but it can vary, so bear with me here. This website will give you the points on what will go on record and what insurance can see, and hopefully your insurance won't raise, but it probably will when you get points. I know it will if they see you have points added. So 2 points if you get 2 points added if you are going 10 or less over the speed limit, and then it goes on so forth and so forth. 3 points for careless driving, 4 points for drag racing, and then I believe 6 points is for DUI. Yep, 6 points is for DUI and reckless driving, like, you know, super high over the speed limit. So this was just a rough idea on, you know, how many points you would be getting with your license. So take that code, you know, on your ticket and Google it around and see what you can come up with on Google yourself.
Alright, you've seen online how much their fines roughly cost. But that's a general idea on how to fight a ticket, and it will vary from state to state, of course. But this is a general idea for you, the general public, on how to fight a ticket for your first time, or even if it's even if you had a ticket in the past and you need a refresher on how this will work. If you have any comments, comment below. This recently happened to me, so I'll help you any way I can. I'll look up information for you or try to help you with your case, no matter however much I can. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of fun different videos online here, and comment below whatever you need help on, or if you have any questions about this video. Have a great day. Bye for now.